So does anybody have anything they would like to speak about this issue?
I think one of the
Trite has something to say.
I think one of the situations that okay, so the way that we can deal with both of those problems is by having some sort of inter-DAO communication process, like kind of I think it's hard for people to actually be aware of what has been made, and the attestations of these individuals do only go so far. People only have so much time. And what I would suggest, and a way that we can also kind of address engagement issues, is like how can we get more engagement inside of the DAO, is if we have the ability to aggregate all this data in a quick, easy read or easy watch, where it's just one. I would totally volunteer to do this. This is what I would like doing, is like I would like to just find all the media and then highlight each and every one, each thing, and just do like a 10-minute show where it's like, and this is what Creator DAO did today. And it would probably be like a bi-weekly thing or once a week. And then we can all say like, take 20 minutes and watch this one thing. And if you miss, like if you're not able to engage regularly, you can watch this one thing, you can watch the weekly meeting, and in an hour, or I mean, if you play it all back at 1.5 speed, you can watch it in an hour and get up to date so that you can be engaged in the DAO. You can actually go to the links of these different people's videos, of the different articles, and then we can also wrap that up and push that back to the clients so that we have this bundled media approach where we're reflecting the larger process in this smaller little institution within the group.
Yeah, I'm sold on that. I definitely think, like, to be honest, like I spend quite a bit of time in the Discord, not nearly as much as some of you guys, like especially Dunks but like it's difficult to keep up with everything. Like I skim a lot. I skip a lot of things because I have to. If there was definitely just like a place where it was just like I go here and then I get, everything I need to know to do this coordinate circle, that would be fantastic. That would just be like, golden, and it would be just so much easier.
Is that something we can discuss with coordinate and see, like, if people can put their work which is visually represented? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I've seen this, and this is what I used myself to give gives on both both coordinates. Can I interrupt you for a sec? A couple times now, and today again, is that what we were thinking of doing was setting up a specific. Are you still there? Someone there? Setting up a specific time that is not during this meeting time. That is just like anybody who wants to participate and be part of this like initiative would be the filter of the coordinate results. Like go through the coordinate results, look for the crazy outliers, like the things that are way outside standard deviation, and just adjust them. And then allow the DAO to dispute it if they do not agree with it. And if we just did this for a while, then people would start to understand that, oh, I can't just like give my friend, all my gives and he gives me all his gives. And then we get a few extra from other people because they're nice. Then when they realize that this can't happen, then they won't do it anymore, right? Hopefully, right? Hopefully this like initiative will not be something that needs to be done forever, right? Because when we scale up and we become much larger, it's not doable, right?
Could we? Uh, can I say something really quick? So the
Yes.
thing that I see like this process maybe working the best is if for the circles, for each circle, everybody in their like description on coordinate, you can write like a description like what you did for that, epoch for that circle. Why doesn't everybody just put what they did? And then if they can put like something that shows the metric for what they did as well. Like for that video you saw was like around 1,000 views or something. I could put that. I can just put a link to my video. I could say I made a video for Complify. I paste a link to the video, and then I put next to that I put like 1,000 views or whatever, however many views I got it and whatever reach I had. Right. Then before the payout for that epoch for that circle, the multi-stakeholders get together beforehand and just kind of review what's been put into the coordinate by all the members, like how many gives they gave out, and also was that description filled out, kind of okay to give enough information to the ones that are giving out those gives. Then after that process is done, we come here to decide as a DAO. We just kind of review one more last time before that payment is sent out. As reviewing it as a DAO, if there's a discrepancy of how many gives somebody got versus like somebody else, we could go over it and kind of mediate that process and resolve that amongst all of us. But I think the multi-sig holder should kind of like flag that issue for us to discuss as a DAO, if it even occurs. Now, if they don't have to flag an issue, then they just proceed with the payment like normal, right? I think that's probably the best process to go about it without too much complexity and too much back and forth.
There's two things. We talked about having people do descriptions, which I totally agree with. It should be just mandatory. If you don't put a description, then you should expect to not get very much, if anything, right? And
I would have just assumed that you didn't do anything.
Yeah, and adding metrics like views or reach, that would also be good. And see, the only thing, like, it took me and Dunks, it took us quite a long time to go through that and discuss it. And I wouldn't want to be like the entire DAO is here doing that. So that's why I was trying to be like, let like a small, like have a committee to do that.
Yeah, if we can have a committee do that,
give the results and allow the results to be like disputed. And then if people are like, if somebody says, like if someone says, like they look when they get the gives and they do the coordinate and they see they have 120 gives, and then the spreadsheet comes out and it says you have 40 gives, then people are going to look why. And then they'll see the description. Oh, it's because I only did one picture. That's why. Or, you know what? I did a picture and a video and my video is not there. So then we might adjust it. But like, hopefully in the future, you didn't put the video on your description. So, why not? Like, it should just be like, it would be so much easier if everyone's description was just, like you said, descriptive of what they did.
And I think that as time goes on, people will just do that because they know if they don't, they won't get paid for it. I think that if the person on Coordinate realizes, hey, if I don't put this information there, I'm not going to get any payment for it. So I think that's really going to incentivize people to make sure that they do that. I don't think we should be really babysitting anybody, here. I think if we give enough guidance and, give a helping hand, that should be enough. But babying somebody to make sure that they get paid, that's their fault, I think. Yeah, that's fine. But it's a teaching mechanism too, though, I think. Yeah, maybe you can just paste the link that you had on Trello.
Well, see, the thing is, like, I disagree with that. Like, in a small sense, like, yeah, it doesn't allow people to go and see it. If you can't post a whole bunch of links. You can't post links to 9 different things, but you can definitely put like 3 tweets, 2 videos, an article, and 6 memes. Like, why you can just put that. And then people can then be like, oh, I want to see how far that and maybe I can put reach too. If I put, my video has 45,000 views, then people might double check it and be like, hey, is that true? And then they would go and check, right? But like, we're adults. We're going to be honest. And, if you put 1,000 views and you had 998, that's cool. That's fine, right? It's close enough, right? Like, maybe you get 2 views by the time the coordinate's done or whatever, right? So I think we just need text, like just a simple list, and it's enough. And if anybody really wants to dig deep, they can go to the Trello board and dig deep and see all the links. Because I don't think people want to go to each person and be like, okay, I want to see his video, I want to see his views, I want to see. And if they do, then they have the Trello board to just go there and dig as deep as they want. But to make it super easy, just like every person just has a small list of what they did, and it will be very easy for the majority of the people who don't really care so much. They just want to do it, and they want to do it right, but they don't care about like every little metric. Then they can at least be kind of accurate. You know what I mean? They can at least be much more accurate than just, Caesar is cool, I'm going to give him 40 gives. You know what I mean? Like, it's got it, like, but I think that's simple enough. But, it's not perfect, but it'll fix the problem much better than the way it is, right?
Yeah, we don't want. Yeah, that's plenty. We don't want to read, like, I don't want to go there and read an essay for each person. Not only that, I don't want to have to go there and dig into each person's, by clicking on links either. Ideally, I want to go there and just see like a heads up display and get a sense of what's going on and who did what. And that's good enough.
I will make an exact video of this just to go along with like become a creator, the video I made for that. I'll just make this same thing, a quick like how creators give gives. And like it's definitely like there's still a little bit of like leeway. Like it doesn't have to be, one picture is worth 14 gives. No, we just you use your judgment. There's still a little bit of friendship. There's still a little popularity. There's still a little bit of that in there, but at least there's some guidance. It's not just like, oh, click, 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 I'm done. Oh, great. Where's my paycheck, right? Does anybody else have anything about this? Like any issues and stuff? Any questions? Anything? I think Fugu wanted to say something. Did you want to say something, Fugu? No? Okay. Oh, yeah. He's got his mic on.
We can't hear you, Fugu, just FYI.
I don't know for sure, but I think I know what he wants to mention, and that is the fact that like there should be some sort of like when you give gives, you should have some sort of assessment of what is of value and what is not. Like if somebody gives like say like somebody does a video and they produce a single that you give them one give, and then someone produces a single image that just says, like basket DAO #1 and has a basket, it takes 6 minutes at most, right? That's not worth more than a video or something like this. Like we just need to kind of, as a group, try to understand what is valuable and what is not. And I think the descriptions will help a lot, especially if we put some sort of reach in there as well. There's another thing I wanted to talk about before we actually talk
Caesar,
about
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, my actual main concern was, you kind of addressed it already, but it was, what if a new person joins Creator DAO and they give you one give in the whole epoch? Now, it could be because they don't know how to use Coordinape, and you addressed that. It also could be just because they're new. They don't know who anyone is. They know who Caesar is because you onboarded them. They know who Dunks is because you onboarded them, but they don't know who Fugu or Diraj or Wasi is, and they just say, oh, okay, I'll just give them one. Like, I don't want to bother reading the description. What do you do when someone just gives you one? Will that be addressed by the Coordinape Council after the epoch is over, or what?
To speak on this, in my mindset, basically, if you get one from a single person, we won't actually know. Like, we will just see your total. If you got like let's say we know you produced like 9 videos, like you're doing all those clips and stuff. They're not like literally like they're not the same as a video, but they're work. And if we see that you got paid like 10, and this guy got paid 45 for producing the same amount of content, then we will adjust it, and hopefully as time goes by, like we will educate people better on how to use the Coordinape. I think the video might help a lot. Like I think the video of how to become a creator has helped a lot. Like Crypto 8-Bit, you are brand new. Did you have a hard time finding how to get a job? Like, did this video help you? Did you watch the video, like how to become a creator, how to find a job?
Yes, I did watch the video. It helped me a lot, but I must say the learning curve was very steep. When I joined the DAO, everything just flew over my head. So if there was a step by step kind of instruction manual, that is in the DAO, that would really help the new members, get the feel of how the DAO works, day to day, and how this coordinate works. I have recently joined this Yale Finance circle, and I'm not very sure how the coordinate works. I'll definitely ask around, but not entirely sure about it.
All right. So yeah, like if anybody wants to write docs, by all means, it's a lot of work, and the payout for doing that work is up in the air. But it's definitely would be helpful to have like a docs that someone could read. But like I'm more than willing to produce the same style of video that I did for that, and use the Coordinape as an example, and just kind of explain how Coordinape works. The video that I produced for Coordinape kind of does it already, but not so clearly, right? Because it doesn't talk about the values of Creator DAO, right? But yeah, like to answer your question, Fugu, as an admin, there's no real way for us to see that you received 1 give from that person. Like we can click on his and we can see how big the lines are from people, but we won't know that that single individual gave you 1 give. You know what I mean? There's no exact tracking of he gave him this many gives, he gave him this many gives. It's just kind of like, this is the total you got, and this is the total you gave. Do you know what I mean?
So should I address that personally and say to the person like, "Hi, I know you're new here, but just so you know, I've done like such and such work. Like, I don't think it's fair that you gave me 1 give."
I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Like actually sending messages to people, DMing them, and being like, or in the open, in the Coordinape thing. What do you guys think about this?
Only like in extreme circumstances, like if somebody gives you 0 or 1, whereas you have 100 to give, and if you only give 1, it's like a little bit low.
But so he's got a good point here, and that is like he can adjust as he's going along, and as he's learning, and as he's seeing, he can adjust things. Maybe he hasn't given all his gives. However, after the epoch has ended, then it's in the hands of the council to change things. So maybe you could address the council with that and be like, hey, listen, I got 1 give from like 3 people. But I think like this is a tough one. I think it's the total. Like literally, it's the total that really matters, right? Long as your total is on par with what you did, like I think it's fine. But I don't know.
I think
We're about 40 minutes in. Do you mind if we move on to some of the client talk now? I think we can do it. Any objections? Anything that really has to be mentioned before we move on? Yeah. First of all, we're gonna combine them into a single like payout basically, so that we can save a few gas fees on a few people, just to be stingy, and why not, right? Because they're so close to each other. Another thing we did was we BasketDAO paid us an ETH, but instead of using the ETH as in the payout, we were gonna use USDC paid by someone else, another client, and then we can consider selling the ETH later for USDC or immediately or what have you. So we're just gonna use the USDC from another client to pay the 10K that BasketDAO gave us. Basically, we're gonna make the two spreadsheets, and then we're gonna combine them into a single spreadsheet and give everybody their totals. And then we're gonna use Disperse. We're gonna send a contract that just basically, if anybody's ever used Disperse, it just basically, it tells you to say like which token, and then send to which address how much, which address how much, which address how much, and then you just sign the transaction, and it just goes bloop 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 and drops it all into everybody's wallet. So you'll just basically get paid straight into your wallet that way. So you do have to make sure that the wallet that you've given in Coordinape is the wallet you want to receive. If there's any issues with like, oh, I don't want my payment going to my Coordinape wallet, then you better speak up before the next week. And that's pretty much it about like how the payment will leave us, the multi-sig, and go into you guys. Anything else, Dunks? Yeah. And one more thing, in the spreadsheet, don't forget to look at the bottom. There are tabs. We're gonna have multiple tabs because it's like pre-edit and then post-edit. So make sure if you are looking at the spreadsheet that you check the tabs at the bottom to make sure you see the entire picture. Okay, let's move on. I think, yeah, I'm completely on board with that as well. Let's go into some of the client talks. Complify round 2 is they're a client again. However, it's kind of in a lull because we're waiting for them to launch options and farming. So that's basically where I stand. I'm planning on making a video to talk about farming and options. So that's kind of what Complify is sitting at. I don't think we have to talk much more about that. Maybe our contract doesn't have to start until they launch, and then we do, like, even though they've paid, maybe we don't like waste time. Basket DAO, they ran into some issues with some like front end stuff with the what's this 1559, the London upgrade. So I heard that they're going 90 miles an hour trying to get all that dealt with, and that might be why they've kind of ghosted us for a couple of days. I haven't got any messages back from them, so I'm not exactly sure, whether or not they're coming back or not. Dunks, did you want to add to that? Yeah, like we can't just wait for them. We just carry on but not burn the bridge, just why not, right? It doesn't hurt. And I like the products, so I have no intention of like ghosting them in that sense. Onto yeah, it's life. Regarding genomes, their pre-sale is doing pretty good. If their pre-sale goes through and they get the 100 ETH, then they won't actually launch on Misu, and they won't do the first session of Misu. I don't know if B has any more information. I haven't really watched deep into them beyond the video and then beyond a few conversations I had, the AMA and stuff. So maybe B, you have anything specific you really want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I'll just give a brief update on what's going on with genomes. So we have 6 more days in the contract. They're at about 52 ETH, and the target is 100. So if they don't reach the 100, they will launch the Miso offering. I noticed in the Discord, I don't know if you guys know this guy, DeFi Yield Info. He's a pretty big influencer on Twitter with like 48,000 followers. So I mentioned that to Mark that he's actually quite a huge influencer. And Mark actually just told me that this guy personally just invested 2 ETH, so like the max that he could, into the pre-sale. I was wondering if we can like somehow get him involved in, sharing some tweets from genomes. I think that would like really help. I follow this guy for a long time on Twitter, and I know anytime he puts his money into something, he like pumps that project a lot. So if we can somehow get him involved, I think we can help genomes do this last push. And we've been busy with other projects, and we only have one last week to do for genomes. So I really think we should make an effort to give them this last push. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Because he was in a deep discussion with Mark, and he sounds like the guy that I know. But it's a guess. Like I shouldn't say I'm 100% sure that's the guy, but
It's different people. It's different
you think
people.
so?
I don't know. Like, I could just ask. I don't know if they'll tell me the truth, but I can ask.
One thing I
Okay.
want to mention about that is that we have met the client's criteria, I believe, right? However, doing another push, although it might reduce some of our payment as an individual, because we're gonna dilute the content and based on the payment, it will increase the likelihood that they sign as another client, and it's a pretty decent, interesting, cool project. So I would just I think if we try to treat every client like the way Yell is being treated, I think that's not a bad thing. We might, I might get, if we don't do any more content, maybe I get $800 for a video, and if we do, another video or somebody else, maybe I get 600. But then the client comes back. So I think giving these extra little pushes, especially at the end, they can do a lot for us to maintain our reputation and create relationships with clients. So yeah, I think it's definitely because it's kind of new clients come and you kind of lose focus on the old ones, and I'm guilty of it as well. But just kind of steer back and kind of just give it another little push. It's difficult because you're not going to produce another video that says the same thing, but you could retweet your video. We could do kind of a reminder retweet session, especially from the creator Twitter account, just be like, hey, don't forget, Genomes is 1 week, or I don't know, 1 week before the Misu launch or something. If you want to get in on a special bonus, and get the Genome, just explain the option of the pre-sale, the possibility of the pre-sale, and use some content to kind of re-push it and give people that educational opportunity again. I think is definitely not a bad idea. And we could also do a summary tweet of all the content that was created by that month. It could be like a Twitter thread that's DeFi Trader created this video, Caesar created this video, this link takes you to this guy's Twitter thread, this link takes you to this guy's article. I think this would also be a valuable thing to do near the end, and it will also give the project manager an ability to kind of consolidate the whole image and make sure everything has been covered. And it also will create more audience and give more exposure to all of the content.
IB, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to verify that Crypto Yield Info is the same guy. I have a chat history with him, and I see he's chatting in the genomes.io group now, and yeah, it's the same guy.
The reason why I said it's him is because I also went into the Etherscan and I checked his address. If he is not if he's just a random person, he's not gonna have a ton of money and do a ton of DeFi activities every single day. That's why I was sure that this was that guy.
Can you share his address with me, just out of curiosity?
Okay, I feel weird. Okay, yeah.
For science, thank you.
Yeah.
Not for copy trading. Anyways, continue the meeting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my brainstormed idea for Genome's final push, is a kind of super thread that just kind of says, everything that we did. Does anybody else have any kind of ideas? Because producing more content is difficult, but just reminding people of the content that we already produced is also quite valuable. And especially Fugu, he does all those clips of we could do a Twitter thread that's just all the clips, that would be valuable as well, and get more exposure, more eyes. And people will ignore it, be like, hey, I already saw that, but I didn't see that, and maybe they'll go in, maybe they'll check out that other person's video or whatever. I think it's a good. But anybody have any other ideas?
That's a good idea. I like it.
All right. I guess we move on. Let's go to Yale Finance. They've got a very special, I think you guys all know, but they're paying us 16K no matter what, and 16K if we can get their TVL up high enough. And it's quite lucky, like we're quite lucky because they're not actually asking us for proof that we are the reason they got that TVL up, which is quite nice. Yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job on just shilling the crap out of that. And who's the man? Oh, it's B, right? B, have you got any thing you would like to share about Yell?
Dunks and I noticed they're offering rewards for their own community to create content. And I noticed one of our creators also was kind of asking questions in that channel. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a problem if people, double dip.
I think, yeah, I'm sorry. I just saw that message. I thought about this before. In my opinion, double dipping in this case is the project's problem, not our problem. I don't think we should be hey, you got paid from the content, the project, then you shouldn't get paid from us. However, as long as we're transparent with the project and they know that that person is part of us and they got paid for us, then the content should be, if they want to double pay for it, then I don't see why not. It's up to them, right? If we put in our videos, in our articles, in our some sort of stamp that has creator DAO, that would help the client to know that they're getting double dipped. But
can I ask a question and clarify what you're talking about? I'm just really lost. When you mean double dip, are you referring to somebody let's say me as a creator, I make a video for Yelled, right? And then I submit that to the DAO, and then I'm getting paid out from the DAO now too from that video. Are you talking about using that same video that I gave as a deliverable to the DAO and also supply that to their contest? And then let's say I win the contest,
yes.
But so I would
that's
say
exactly right. Yeah.
That's on Dumb to I would say that's on Yell, that's on the project's side of making sure that nobody double dips. But I would say that morally, if a creator is doing that, morally I don't think that's right. I don't know if we can enforce that. I don't think it's technically or really that feasible that the creator DAO enforce that. But I think that we should just kind of have a rule that, hey, just don't do that, because it's not good. It doesn't really represent the DAO good, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you
So the
completely.
onus is on them,
it's definitely,
but morally it should be, something that we should address, I think.
I think it's a very gray area of morality. It's definitely not black or white morality. I'm not doing it, but I wouldn't do it. But I can totally see why people why not? They're willing to pay me twice for my content. And I think if we can kind of just be clear with we don't want the client coming back and saying, hey, I paid these guys and then you're paying them. As long as we be very clear, they're in the chat, and as long as we're sharing everything and they're seeing everything that that is being submitted to us, then I think they will catch that. I would think, if I just went in there and said, hey, listen, here's my video, and they would, I think they would indefinitely be like, yeah, we know you this video, right? This is not new content. But I don't know. It's definitely a gray.
Yeah, but the onus should be on Dumb for sure. We shouldn't. The creator DAO shouldn't have the onus of of that. But we should probably put out a rule, that we don't do that. We can just agree as a group not to do that. Because I think that if you make one piece of content and you're gonna submit that to their contest and also use that for a submission into a deliverable for the DAO, you're pretty much getting paid twice for not doing anything, right? You did one thing for the DAO, and now you're gonna be double dipping with the contest. Now, if you're gonna make two different pieces of content, don't think that would apply to you at all. I think that's a good thing. You know, if you want to make 2 pieces of content, submit one into the contest and then give one to the DAO as a deliverable, that's okay. But if you're going to be using just the same piece of content for both, I think that's wrong. Maybe we can decide as a group, you know, all of us collectively to agree not to do that. That way we don't have any projects, because it could come back to us. A project maybe looks at it from a different light and not in the best light and blames the DAO.
I agree. I think we should go for things with the most integrity to start with. I think we need to do that as a DAO.
Hey, Dunks, before
I
you proceed, I just want to check with you. We are recording this call, right? Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Like obviously in my mind, well, I wouldn't say obviously. In my mind I agree with this, but I can definitely play the devil's advocate and say that like some people are on the other side of that, and they're definitely like it's not something we should say like as a group we just decide. Like we have to kind of like let this to be a vote, I think, to be a clear. But I do agree that like all the concerns you have, I'm on your side on this, but I would like to have it like at least open so somebody can like at least voice their other side, you know what I mean, to this, because this is, you know, like we're telling people what they can and cannot do, and I don't. That's not really what I think we should do as a DAO. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, like I agree, like it is immoral in that sense, especially if you're just repeating the same content, and you know, like
I really just
Yeah.
won't have a issue when you're repeating the same content. Now, if you're making new content, I think that's great, and that should be rewarded and, you know, applauded. But the other end of the spectrum is using the exact same content and just, you know, double dipping.
Yeah. I think we can. There's quite a few of us here. I think we can kind of like, if anybody disagrees with DeFi Trader, speak up now, or we can just be, this is kind of what we do, and like just be like, and then if anybody comes along and they're like, hey, I disagree with that, then they can voice and we can reevaluate our stance on it. But yeah, I think it's the potential for problem is there, but the potential of upside for us is there's no possible upside for us. You know, there's no possible reason why we should allow someone to submit content to us that has been submitted and won already on them. Do we allow it the other way? Like if it was already a content produced and they already used it to win like the contest, would we allow that to be submitted to us? Probably not, right? We
No, I
wouldn't.
don't think so.
So exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So It's a little bit different, but it's very similar in the sense, right? So I think we can all agree on this, and then just if anybody wants to say now, then just speak up. But I doubt it. I don't think anybody's going to speak up because
I think
we're
this
all
is a matter
humans.
I think this is a matter of style and articulation of the mission and sort of the submission guidelines. I'm not sure, like, I don't have an exact vision of where this would be like truly unethical unless somebody were making creator branded content and submitting it elsewhere. I see that as a double dip.
That's
But
essentially what we're talking about. It's
Okay.
creator branded content. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say like when you say branded, I don't know what you mean by that, but essentially it's a
Because
piece of
there's
content that was specifically made for the DAO, and then it was also used in a submission. That's what I would call double dipping.
Yeah, well, personally, I think it would be better to take no stance, and if there's some kind of real long term issue that crops up where there's some kind of like actual visible gaming of the system. Personally, I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like messing with people's money at that point. To use a yeah, actually, never mind. I'm not going to say anything profane.
I think to
This is
simplify.
sorry, I mean, this is the gray area that I was talking about. Like if long as we're very transparent with the client and we're like, hey, listen, this is the content that was produced for us, and they can constantly see that, then they should know that that content was already paid for through us. You know what I mean? So like but I think we can just kind of make it like an
They should
unspoken
know.
rule.
They should
it
know.
should just kind of.
But what
Yeah,
if they
definitely.
just overlook it and then maybe like later on they see that this content was produced twice, and then they track down who it was and they say, oh, the creator DAO gave it to us. They might have they probably copied it from this guy.
Honestly, I think it's a liability on us. Like if someone is doing it, it doesn't like the DAO. Yeah, like it doesn't. We shouldn't have such creators if they're trying to double dip.
Well, it doesn't give us any benefit, and it only hurts the client.
Yeah.
And there's no benefit to us.
Yeah, just weighing out the pros and cons. There's more cons than pros individually as content creators of the DAO and also as a whole for the DAO. There's more cons than there are pros.
It's a simple thing, right? Like if you are creating
behavior.
Sorry, DeFi trader. If you're creating content, you can either claim the bounty through us because again, right, like it's a bounty program, or through the client. So we have a good relation with the client as well. And then we have to specify when we are meeting a new client or talking to them and ask them do you have a bounty program, right? And then what happens? So this is, I think, another conversation we have to add to our clients as well. So honestly, I think most of us are against it. But if the client wants to pay them twice, I don't know why, that's okay. But from us, we should just say that we don't encourage this, instead of do it or don't do it. And then we have to have a clear word with the client as well when we're starting our communication.
Yeah, I think you really brought up the best bullet points there. I really agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can move on from this double dip conversation.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I have the next one is a kind of a two-part thing. I want to talk about both Coordinape, an issue with Coordinape and drops at the same time. Now, I kind of made a little mistake. I kind of jumped the gun on Coordinape. They paid us. We had a Discord channel open, so I just went ahead. I know it well enough. I just went ahead and made a video. There's a few feedback issues that they gave me from things that they were like, oh, we wish you would have said this, or we wish we would have done that. And the reason why I kind of jumped the gun on it was because I wanted to get the ball rolling. And I noticed that, like, drops.io or drops.co or whatever, the drops project has been live since the 3rd of August, and we still don't have like a pillar content. So my idea is that instead of, starting the contract on the day of payment or on any day of payment, we start the contract on the day the pillar content is created. So then it's very clear that no jobs are going to be done before the pillar content's created, or we change this format of using a pillar content. But I think the pillar content is very good, and I think it's a good format and it's a good system. So I propose that we start the day on the day the pillar content was created. And now if the client pays and they keep dragging their feet to produce that pillar content, that interview with whoever does that pillar content, whether it be Gabriel, me, or whoever, it's on them. They've paid us. It's on them to schedule it and get it done in that sense, to get that pillar content done. What do you think about this, guys? Because
I agree. We should start the day when, we record the pillar content. So
Yeah, I agree. That's a good process.
Not post, but record basically. And do you mind if I ask what's the issue with drops? Have they not scheduled, or is there a delay from our side?
Yeah, I have
think
no
it's
idea.
scheduled.
That's the thing.
It's scheduled with
That's
Gabriel,
right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's not here right now, so I was hoping he would be here for this part, and we could ask him.
Okay.
But yeah, I have no idea. And that's kind of why I kind of hey, I know Coordinape. I like these guys. I want them to be our clients, so I'm gonna get the ball rolling, regardless of pillar content or not. And the mistakes I made are not huge. I'm gonna tell you them now. And one is that right now they're using forms to onboard clients, but they're going to send it to on-chain permissionless. So it's going to be permissionless. You don't need to apply to become a Coordinape client. It's just going to be, do the on-chain transaction. You are now a client. And that's a big step, right? And the other thing I missed in my video was if you actually click on the faces of the people, then you actually get a very good visualization of who they gave to and who they received from. So my response to the feedback was, I'm going to address my videos, we'll call them mistakes, right? My videos, omissions in my Twitter thread. When I do a Twitter thread, I'm going to start with these things are the things I missed in the video. If you want to know the rest, you can watch this video again, right? And the last thing is, I talked a little bit about the idea that Coordinape needs to be manually adjusted. I used the word policed because that's the word that came to me when I was speaking of it. And they kind of said, this is not great marketing. You can check the feedback. It's underneath my video right now in the Coordinape share channel. You can read it. I suggest you guys read it, especially people who are going to produce content after me. Then I'll take this bullet for the team, I guess, like I tend to do. And again, it is on me because I jumped the gun. I was like, yeah, they paid. I'm doing it. Boom, done, right? I was excited and happy, and I did it, right? But so yeah, I think if we have those two things, start on the day the pillar content's created, and then you guys can check the feedback when you're producing your content to make sure you cover these things. Because I kind of promised them we will cover these things and make sure they understand. I'm sorry. Anything else? I cut you off a bit, right, Raj? You want to add to this?
Yeah. So if there's an issue with Gabriel, I can pick up the pillar content. That's all I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get some more people doing pillar content, in a sense.
So I
Uh,
don't
be-
mind. I don't. Yeah, cool. I don't mind doing the pillar content. I've just done one, out of all the clients. So like I'm happy to do pillar content.
So, can I ask a question about the pillar content? Is that mainly like the type of things that I've been seeing from Gabriel with his interviews? Is that essentially what the pillar content you guys are looking for, is like an interview like that?
Well, the pillar, the
We'll see.
purpose of the pillar content is to help us work more efficiently, and it also gives an accurate picture of what the project is, and that's what would help our creators in their own research process as well.
So essentially, it would be replicating what Gabriel's done in his interviews then.
Yeah, I've done one as well. Diraj has done one. It's literally like it's a time for us to literally ask the client exactly what they want to say about it. And it's like, tell us the things that you want us to talk about. And then they can do
And
that. And then
also,
we can
if
ask for
they have
deeper
a
questions
specific, okay.
Yeah, and then we can ask deeper questions. We can go deeper, and we can kind of give them an interview. And then, as a creator, you might not need the pillar content to do your research because that's not your research style. But like if you listen to like an hour-long conversation or 40-minute conversation at 2x speed, you get a pretty good idea what the project's about, right? And then you can go into the docs and read the docs, whatever system you like. You don't have to use the pillar content. It's just if we wait for the pillar content, then we can be sure that, like we're not missing anything like what I did with Coordinape. I missed 2 key points that they would have liked me to highlight.
Got it. And
Another
also,
thing with the
go
pillar
ahead.
content is the clients would often talk about what their focus is in the next month, and that way we can also cater our content towards that. So it's a timely, help us create a timely content for their project as well.
I had one more question. Let's say I want to create a pillar content. What's the process I would go to, begin this step? Like, who do I contact? Like, how do I set it up to do the interview?
Well, see, yeah, but he doesn't know that there's a pillar content needed until the pillar content comes out, right? So he's got a good point.
Pretty much. Like, how
the
do I
sa-
even know if
yeah,
I want to start doing a pillar
yeah.
content? What's the first step that I do? Like, what's the process? I don't know
I
the
think
process.
what we should do,
I'm kind of lost.
you know what I think we should do? Dunks, give me a sec. You know what I think we should do? We should ask who wants to do pillar content, and then we can, as a group, assess whether or not these people are, I don't want to say qualified, but you get my point, right? Like,
Yeah,
will they
can you
produce good enough?
deliver?
Yeah. Can they
Or
produce?
you're just
Can they
gonna
deliver
not-
this? And then everybody just creates a calendar, and then the clients can then use the calendar to be like, oh, I don't know if we can combine people's calendars so that there's only one calendar, so that the client can then select, the time that's best for them. Because that might be an issue too with Gabriel, is that, he's in Los Angeles, I think, or somewhere in America, and maybe the client is in, Eastern Europe or something. Who knows? And maybe that might be an issue. It might be better for me to do the pillar content for that client because I'm in Asia. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
if we
that
had
makes
that
sense.
whole time zones all covered, then it would just be whoever they want to go with, right? So maybe Dunks, maybe you can look into the fact of whether or not we can merge 3 or 4, and then you can just be like, hey, listen, I want to do pillar content too, and then we can just add your calendar availability to the calendar. Do you think this is something you could do, Dunks?
So, can I get a little bit more clarification on this? Let me ask one question. So, if I want to make pillar content, the first step would be for the client to reach out to me with my Calendly. Is that what it is?
I say we change that. I say we do this. We do the sales call as usual. Either whoever's doing the sales call does the sales call, and then he announces to the some sort of I don't want to say, maybe the managers, project managers, and then the project managers know that we have a client and that they've paid or that they're gonna pay, and then once they pay, then they have to book a pillar content with one of the people who are available to do pillar contents, and then after the pillar content
Wait,
is created,
can you
that's
just
when we
explain that
open it to
process?
Discord. You mean the client? So the client is then after during the client's call, the sales call, they will most likely be like, let me think about it. And then they will come back to the salesperson and be like, yeah, okay, we're on board. Where do we send the money? And then they're like, oh, send it to this one. And then they're like, confirm receipt. Yeah, we got the money. It's all good. Here is the link to the pillar content schedule. And then
Okay,
they
that's
schedule
what I
the
was
pillar
wondering.
content.
So
Yeah,
it's
I think
so you
this
actually
is
have
the
to
best
get
way
in
to do it.
communication with the new client. So how would I know that there's like a new client outside of like the channel? That's what you said you wanted to change now, right?
Yeah, that's the point. You would just get like a notification in your calendar saying, "Oh, you've got a call with this people," and then you would just be like, "Hey, it's in it's not going to be in one
Honestly,
day."
Cesar, I think we should let people pick, right? Like when we onboard a client, the project manager says, like, we have a client, and then maybe 3 people can volunteer who wants to do it instead of there might be a project I'm not really interested in, and it gets scheduled. That's just a little weird.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't. It doesn't we look at the first client
we
had
want to
where we
make
did a
it
pillar
easier.
content and we did an AMA. You can do an interview or an AMA. Anyone can do that. If you can get the client to go on your channel and do an AMA interview, that's perfect. We can do those. But this actual pillar content, because it's going to help us to filter the things that they want to say, we have to make sure that nobody is going to start producing content until after that pillar content has been. We've given that client the right to say their piece, to say exactly what they want. And I like Diraj's idea of the sale goes through, then the salesman tells the project managers, hey, we got paid from blah blah blah. Find a pillar content creator, and then the project manager can be like, hey, I know you want to be a pillar content. You are a pillar content. Does any of you guys want to do this through some sort of DMs or some sort of we can make a simple channel that's pillar content, and only the pillar contented people who want to be pillar content creators can be in that channel with the project managers. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm. This is a good point.
Yeah, I don't have too many. I have a couple, and it's something I wanted to get better at doing. So I want to get that opportunity to, if possible. Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's very clear though. Then so the way to slow down the creators from creating content will be the job board then. So nobody should be creating any content until there is a job board listing, except for the person who volunteers to do the pillar content. Like, I'm trying to avoid the issue that I had today for everybody, not just me, right? And if there's a set rule that like, wait for the job board, the project manager will create the job board after the pillar content is created, because the pillar content will be in the job board posting. So then you just wait. That's then someone who comes here wants to produce content. The only thing they need to do is look at the job board. Oh, okay, there's a job. There's no job yet for this client, so I'll come back tomorrow. I'll come back in a couple of days, and then it's very simple, very easy. I think this works. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Pretty much don't do what Caesar did today, right?
Yeah, exactly. Don't follow the sandwich.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. I really like that. I really like that project though. So I was like and I was itching for something to do too. I was like, I want to produce something, and I was gonna
really
produce
like
a video today on the bribe curve finance, but it's like it's empty unless you have like voting powers and you voted on pools and stuff. So I couldn't, like, I talked to Andre and he's just like, there's not much there, just do it another day. And I was just like, oh shit, so I got nothing to do. I want to make a video, and they're like, oh, coordinate paid, boom, let's do it. Right? So yeah, it's definitely all on me. Like, it's completely my fault. But yeah, if there's a set rule, then I know, and I know everybody knows, just no job post, no jobs. Simple, right?
Got it.
Yeah. There is another thing. We've produced a social media reach spreadsheet. B has a link to this. I have a link to it. A few of us have a link to it. I would hope that some people could go in there and make sure that things that the reach that they have has been added here, because maybe you have some sort of reach that was not calculated here, like a Telegram group. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here who have Telegram groups. Like, for example, Gabriel Haynes has a Telegram group with, I don't know, 1,000, 6,000, 2,000, a lot of members, and his Telegram group is not here. Now, I'm not sure if he doesn't want it there because he doesn't want to use it to promote content, but that's his choice, right? But there might be some metrics in here that you have reach in that's not here and you would like to add it. So I would like to invite everybody to do this, because this is what I'm going to use for the sales call that I have with Perpetual Finance. And they're kind of ambushing me. There's 4 of them booked at the same time with me. So I'm a little bit intimidated, and I want to make sure that like I have a fair amount of like numbers to show them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll post that spreadsheet in the Creator DAO channel for everybody to review and to add if their name or channels are missing from the sheet. Yeah, and Caesar, I was gonna ask you if like some of us who were interested in learning how to do sales could join you on the call. Like, it would be a good training opportunity for us as well.
Yeah, I think you want in. I can add, like, obviously I don't want to like ambush them back, right? They came at me with 4 people, and then I come at them with 6, right? Like now we got 6, right? How many you got? They got to come back with 8, right? And then it becomes like this big like, but yeah, like maybe 1 or 2, and just kind of like yeah, for sure, yeah. I think, and it's way better because then you can be like, take over sometime when you got an idea, you can just throw some stuff in there and be like, hey, listen, also this, Caesar, right? Yeah, right. It's definitely, if we can team up on them a little bit, it will definitely help. So yeah, if you want to join B or anybody, then just DM me and I will
Yeah.
I'll add you to it. But like I said, I can't add everybody because I don't want to go back at them with like 4-on-4, right? But yeah. Let's see what else. Is there anything? Let's see. Initiatives. Okay, yeah, this is interesting stuff. It's pretty late. Has anybody feeling like they want to stop because there's something really cool that Dunks has been working on, and I think it's really, really, really strong, good idea about the founding 100 members.
I think there's
Do
going to be
you?
a lot of input on this. Like, can we save this for after the meeting? Like, if people are interested in contributing to the initiatives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The initiatives there's quite a few in there. Oh, there is one more thing. There is one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and I think this is pretty interesting and pretty powerful, and it's kind of one of the things that I want to speak on, and that is like we are taking 15% of the client's payment as treasury money, right? And we're going to use it for something in the future. This is not clearly designed yet. Like, for example, Complify paid us 10K, and we're gonna pay all the creators 8,500, and 1,500 is gonna sit in the treasury for, expenses, or maybe we use it for, token launching, or maybe we use it for things, right? It'll all be like, it won't just be like the multi-sigs buying lunch today, right? Like it'll it'll all be like clear. But my proposal is, as we build this up, we have to definitely start looking at yield-bearing uses. Like, there's no reason in hell why we should have USDC sitting in a treasury wallet doing nothing, especially if it's not going to be spent in the near future. So I would like you guys to start thinking about which products you would feel comfortable with putting a treasury into, and then we can also discuss some really creative ideas in the future. But like even if we use like a Yearn Vault, or like BMI, like the Basket DAO BMI token, or anything like this, it would be way better than just being like idle USDC, especially if it's not gonna get spent for quite some time. Do you know what I mean? So this is something I think we should address soon and consider, and maybe in the next meeting we can make a decision so that we're not just wasting money.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think we should set aside just a small portion for cash flow, though. That way, if we need something to pay quickly, we don't have to go into a vault to pull money out, and because that's going to cost gas money.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, totally. But like, sometimes it's just a swap. But yeah, like BDI would be just a swap. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, but this is
Hi,
something we would
Caesar.
consider, right? Yes.
Caesar, I just wanted to say that I think if we're willing to use some of the treasury funds to maybe do some yield farming with, or something like that, especially if it's with a current or future client, that could get us a lot of leverage on the negotiations over how much they could pay. So like if you said to Basket DAO, we're requesting a little bit more this time, but the funds that you pay us are going to go into one of your vaults, then it could be interesting.
Yeah. He's exactly right.
Because let's say the
Yeah, one of
let's say the Yell job, for example,
I'm sorry,
for the
one
Yell
of the
job, they wanted to increase their TVL. So if they would have paid us a certain amount, but we guaranteed that we put into their vaults, that would be a
I'm
guarantee
sorry, you
for
cut
them
out
that their
Fugu.
TVL would increase.
One of the things that I did with Basket DAO is I talked to them quite extensively, and I got them to give us partnership fee exemption on BMI tokens simply by buying
no
BM
audio,
tokens with my own personal money because I like the product to
just me?
some extent. So
B-
like this kind of
Hey, one second.
opportunity. Yeah.
1 second. So B is having issue with this thing. I think someone's server deafened Kowloon as well. So just checking, can everyone hear us?
I can hear you.
Hello?
B, you'll have to rejoin. Okay, it's just B. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, I did that. Like honestly, like sometimes Dunks and I we sit down and we have like these crazy like phone calls
Yeah, I'm
about
getting
like
no
just
audio,
some really
so I'm
really
gonna
wild
exit
cool
and
ideas.
rejoin.
And we want to give them to you, but they're quite a ways down the road, especially like your index idea that's solid. But like even just something simple like that, like if we were to put like you said, like Fugu said, if we were to put like we were to tell them, oh, we want 15K this month, but 5K will be going into the BMI token and long term just hodling it, then I think they would be like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? I would think it would be way easier to convince them to pay us more if we're using it to invest in their actual product. And the same with like Yell, Yell's like, it's not so much like, it's not stable coins, so we're taking a lot more risk if we take on a Yell token because it has the potential of decreasing in value, whereas BMI is pretty much, we just have to worry about hacks, right? So there is that consideration. Is there anything else in here that we really have to go through? Let me see.
Wait, Dunks is talking, Caesar. Can you hear him?
No, I can't hear him.
Come, yeah, rejoin.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'd say just kind of like on the awareness side, like it would be important for us to talk to some kind of legal advice. I mean, we are a multinational, and there's so much that could go wrong there. It sounds like what we all idealize, I'm sure, but we should definitely talk to a lawyer before we enter into any of those agreements. Would anybody hate it if I reached out to the Lao or LexDAO? They're connected. Okay, they can offer a lot
I
of
agree
support.
completely.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on my action items.
Yeah, but like, and also consider the idea that like, when we pay you as an individual from the DAO, then we're still gonna pay you in stable coins. We're not gonna give you like, it's basically just, like postponing the selling of the Basque tokens to USDC and pay you in USDC. So like, there's that consideration. I'm not sure,
So-
because we're not really a company, so. I don't know. Like you're
Yeah,
right.
so-
A lawyer is probably the best thing, but just consider that as well when you're talking to the lawyer, and like he gets the whole picture that, this is definitely, we're not intending to pay our clients in Basque tokens or our creators in Basque tokens. It's just giving them some
For
long time incentive.
For sure, yeah. They've dealt with all sorts of wild stuff, so I'll give them the whole picture, and I'll try to bring them in too, so we can have a group discussion.
Hey, so I have an idea. We can negotiate in a certain way that, let's say, now as we have more clients, right? Like the best base 10K could be stables, and anything on top of that, which probably the treasury gets to hold, could be in tokens. So we don't have to swap, and we don't have to rely on Basque token going up or down. Like it's highly possible, right? Like the price goes like 50% down, so now we have to convert. So like it's a bit risky, right? Like we need to remove the payments of creators in stables as much as possible.
One other thing I can say is maybe we can make it like a rule that we will only consider this for repeat clients. So it's kind of a feature of like the second signing contract. Sign another contract, and we will talk about that.
Yeah,
You know,
and
in
it
the
could
first
be-
contract, you pay as stables. The second contract, we are open to this conversation of like partial, governance token payments. That way, because then we all know the project well enough to decide whether or not that stable, that governance token is something that we want to be long on. Do you know what I mean? If it's just a fresh guy, like, this new project, like, I cannot say at all whether or not like Proof of Beauty is a token that has any potential at all. I have no idea. So I definitely don't want to be paid in Proof of Beauty tokens until I understand what the project is. And that will happen after the first contract. I will have a very clear idea of what that project is. Yeah, even if we were sharing like updates of our portfolio, like we could just have like a weekly like Creator DAO portfolio overlook, and just be like, look at how our portfolio is doing, and that's like free advertising for all of those like clients, right? Dunks. I've got to go soon, and there's one more thing that I really want to touch on before we go. And I'm sorry to be so long. This is quite a long call, but this is also quite important in my mind. And that is the incentivization or decentivization of onboarding new people. Like if I create a video, DeFi Trader creates a video, and some other person creates a video, and now we've got the 3 videos created. What's the incentive for me to try to like onboard a new video creator? I would actually probably not want that person to join because he's in a sense competition. Now I understand the idea that if we have so many clients, I'm not going to be able to do a video on every client. It just won't happen. But in order for us to get more clients, we need more creators. It's kind of like a feedback loop, the chicken and the egg, so to speak, right? So we kind of trying to like brainstorm ideas of how we can incentivize like someone like me to onboard another video creator. Like how, like this is something we're trying to explore and come up with ideas. So this is something I would like pitch to you guys to try to think of. How can we develop this? How can it be beneficial for me to get more competition for my content? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I look at that issue, to me, like being, self-interested and self-motivated, there really isn't any incentive for me to want to bring in another creator. I'm just giving you a logical,
Of course.
perspective from
Yeah, exactly.
self-motivated behavior, which is, what a natural person will do, right? So for me,
Exactly.
there really is none. So I'm wondering what incentive could we maybe foster to create a alignment of incentives there? Because right now there is a misalignment of incentives with that goal. There is though, and I can explain to you why there is if you don't see it. Exactly. Right. That right there is a clear misalignment of incentives. And I want to be very explicit about that because that itself is a misalignment of incentives. In the long term, I would agree with you, but in the short term, I would very much disagree with you.
See, I
Thanks. I think I
I,
understand where DeFi Trader and Caesar are coming from. Not everybody is sharing this vision that we have with building Creator DAO. A lot of our content creators are just focusing on individual projects and the content they provide, and basically expect to be paid from that single project. So that's the difference here.
Yeah, so if you have that outlook the way that you do, Dunks, you will see the incentive there. But the question is, like, here's the problem. How do you get everybody else to have that same outlook that you just expressed there, that long-term outlook?
hey,
That's the
one,
problem. We
yeah,
have to
DeFi
make an
Trader.
incentive to get them to see that long-term outlook.
Hey, see,
Otherwise, there's a big misalignment of incentives.
okay, I'll just speak for a second. See, now, Dunks, I completely agree with you. What you said. Now, just giving you guys an example. Now we promise 3 to 4 videos to a clients, right? Now let's say we have 15 creators. If we can do 10 videos or 7 videos, we are going to charge them accordingly. So what we will try to do, if more content is going out, the pie doesn't become smaller, it becomes bigger, because we are pushing more content out. So this is how we will look at it, right? Like, if you're getting more for your money, we will increase the ticket size. So think of it in that way as well.
See, the thing is, this comes down to the sales call, and I think if there's a clear set of packages, like some clients are not going to do that. They're just not going to be like, we want this number to be this. Like they're going to be. I get people asking me, hey, can you create content? And I tell them about Creator DAO. And I say, it's like 15K now. And they're like, oh, I was hoping for like, 1 or 2K. And then I consider it by myself, right? Whether I want to do it by myself or not. But like, there's a lot of clients out there that are not going to be wanted to do it. But do we want those clients? Like, should we really like, it's just, it'll be hard. I think it's much harder to sell. Hey, listen, you give us like 15K and we will show you for the month. We'll produce a good amount of videos, some articles, and we'll tweet the crap out of it. Or, we say something like, give us 15, and if we hit these KPIs, you give us another 15. If we do have clear KPIs, maybe it's easier to make that sales call. But it's definitely a challenge to get what we got from Yell with even our existing clients, and new clients. It's going to be hard to be like, hey, listen, like you could do this, if we increase your TVL, you know what I mean? It's not always. I agree with you, like by saying, you get 3 videos and 6 memes and a tweet and you pay us this much money, then it's definitely, why would we want to do more videos except for the incentive of like trying to repeat the customer, like try to hold on and get another contract signed. But there's definitely like a misincentive, but like the Yale project is a very good experiment on like, we don't care how many videos are produced. We don't care how many images are produced. We just want the project to like, to just boom. So I think in the sales call, it's very important to have like a kind of find out what they care about, and then just say, okay, we're going to try our best to get that to this level, and then you pay us this much. And if we get it even farther, then you pay us more. Then we don't have to worry about like, oh, how many videos do we have? No, it's just a pure like, just like a mad scramble shill fest, right? And that and furthermore, and another way to expand on this is like, if we, let's say we are paying all our creators in CreatorDAO tokens, and we take payments from the client in USDC, and we use it to buy back CreatorDAO tokens and pay creator people. As time progresses and I build up a huge bag of CreatorDAO tokens, maybe I don't want to make videos anymore for random clients or random projects, and I'll just help the new people make videos, and they get paid. But by them getting paid, the tokens getting bought, and my bag gets, goes up in value. As long as we can find a way to like reduce selling pressure of the token, and that would be by us selling our own tokens, because we're the only ones who are going to be getting them given to. Everyone's going to just be buying them and giving them to us. Then the token itself will incentivize us to grow the DAO, because I won't need to do as much work to gain value from the DAO because I'm a bag holder, right?
Yeah. So this is interesting, but again, right, like if we discuss every time, we have to find a sustainable way to do this even without the token, right? Like token is additional cream to your dessert. So like that's, yeah. I don't think so, because I keep messaging. Like I think I message bow-tied guys as well. Like you should join, and like I every creator I meet, I just like get them added, because it increases the scope of work we can do, and we don't really have to rely on one person, right? Like if someone doesn't want to take up a module, that's completely fine. We have people who are taking. So I really don't think this is an issue, because look at the number of clients we have. It's I oh god, it's too much, right? Like it's a lot of work to actually do content for all of these clients, and good content, right? Because you have to research, you have to listen to pillar content, and not just that, right? Like go do your own research. So it is a bit of work. So I don't think anyone is eating into each other's share. And also there is game theory, right? Like if I see there are already 6 people who claimed the video, I'm not going to spend 1 to 2, 3 or 5 hours creating more content on that, knowing that I won't get enough money, right? I'd rather go to Overlay and see that, oh, barely anyone has done any content, and start creating content because I get a bigger piece of the money. So I think game theory and like just capitalism plays out in a way, right? And there will be a time when DeFi trader would be like, no man, I don't need to do all 6 clients. I'll just do 2 and I'm happy with that X amount I'm getting. So yeah. Yeah. I what I think we should have a different conversation just about the token, and that being the entire discussion. Otherwise, like, we can go on and on for the token.
Yeah, I think so too. That should just be a different discussion because there's so many possibilities, and the aligning of the incentives with the token is really important. So we
Yeah.
got to really talk about all possibilities, the game theory behind it, and the tokenomics and such.
But like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, this is not a time to like lay down a plan for the token. But my point of like actually discussing the token is that the idea that the token will solve that problem and the token will come in the future. So don't worry about now. Oh, I lose $100, $200, because in the future there will be a token. There's no reason, like if we don't do a token, then like a token, it allows us to print money, print value. There's like literally no reason why we shouldn't do it. It's just, we have to figure out the tokenomics and the system that works for it. But it's a way of looking to the future and forgetting about the troubles of the present. You know what I mean? Like there's a small disincentive to onboard another person, or for me to like even something like for me to like look at DeFi Trader's video and shill it. Like there's even a small disincentive there, right? Like I would do it, and if I saw it and I like, but there's definitely a small, like there's definitely going to be people who say, I don't want to do that. Why would I? He's my competition, right? So if we can kill that, then we will grow so much faster. And that's just
I
kind of
completely agree. And a token, like you said, would really help to align those incentives eventually and reinforce the incentives that would strengthen the DAO overall.
what these, I'm sorry, what Raj said about like it's just the cream on top. I have to disagree with that. To me, the token is everything, and right now getting paid in stable coins is just because we can't do the token. This is the way I'm looking at it. I could be wrong. I could be. This is the way I look at it. just to give some clarity on that, like Dunks, sometimes you talk for a long time about something, but like just to give very clarity on what he's talking about here is like we're gonna give like an NFT to everybody, and it's just an NFT. You are one of the founding 100s, and then if we want, we can use that NFT to distinguish who gets a portion of the airdrop. Do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like a way for us to be like, kind of give people creator, status as an NFT. It's just another way that we can use like that wallet is a part of the airdrop and something like this. And it'll be fun and interesting and cool. And, maybe we can even sell some of them and create some revenue that way and be like, someone who buys that NFT can be like, hey, maybe I'll get a creator like airdrop. We're not talking about like 90% to all of those NFTs, but maybe 10% or something, and we find another way to give like based on like historical like KPIs, like what kind of like stuff you've contributed or all kinds of stuff. It is a big conversation, like you said, and we really have a lot that we need to lay down and think about. But I think, like he said, like I think we should be considering us farming this token and not worry so much about $60 or $90. You know what I mean? Just be like, I got 60, I got 90, whatever. I got 600, I got 700. This not like the bigger picture. If we can just look past that, this is just that to me is the cherry on the dessert. The USDT that I'm getting now, that's just the sweetener, right?
Love it. Love the idea.
And there's no like, and it's not the only metric we will use to distribute tokens. It's just one of the metrics that we can like look at to say, oh, that person deserves a portion of the tokens. And like, again, the math, we've got to work out the math because the investors got to get their money, right? If they're going to be investors, we got to make sure they get at least 1 ETH or some, this kind of stuff. People would be pissed if, they paid 1 ETH for this NFT and we gave them like $16 worth of like creator tokens, right? So, we got to figure that out, but that's down the road. We can we can we can shill it still. We can still talk about it. We can still be like, like there's gonna be an airdrop, come check out Creator DAO. Like that kind of message is not a bad, it's not a blatant lie, right?
Can I ask, do you have like a rough draft of the tokenomics of the Creator DAO token? Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Okay, that
See,
that
there's
answers
something
my
else that
question. Thank you.
Yeah, there's something else that's really powerful here, and like I know he kind of mentioned this, but I want to tie it together. And like most projects, we don't have to follow the standard DeFi like initial farming offer or initial token offer or like farm liquidity. Like have people supply liquidity and farm liquidity. We don't need to do this because we don't need revenue from our token. We have revenue from real life work. People are paying us to do real work, and we can use that revenue just simply to buy our token and just raise the price. Of course, some creators will come and go. Some creators will leave and sell their tokens. It will definitely be happening. I need to pay my rent. I'm going to sell some tokens. But we're not asking people to trade our tokens. We're not asking outside people to buy our tokens and supply to LPs and farm tokens. There's none of that. It's just we're going to take money from all these other people and use that to buy our token. That's very simple. We don't even need tech. We don't even need Solidity contracts. We just need LPs somewhere that we can buy from. And even if nobody buys the token, some people will because they know we're just constantly buying it. So some people will price speculate on it, and there will be some trading and stuff like that. But we're not a DeFi project. Where our governance token is not necessarily like it's just it's like an IOU. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
totally
I got
different.
it.
It's very different. So we don't have to like
I
really
was just
box us in.
wondering. Yeah, I was just the reason why I even asked that was because of you got into like the token and the NFTs, and I was wondering if there was kind of like within the tokenomics of, or like the roadmap of the tokenomics, was there a way to like connect the NFT and the token together? And you guys already explained that to me. There isn't, as far as like, there's no draft. So
Well, see,
that answers my question. I appreciate it.
See, I did mention to Dunks that, like, like if we're selling an NFT and someone's looking at it as an investment, it would be so much better if it was like, you're going to get this many tokens by buying this NFT.
Yeah,
right?
you have an
It would be
airdrop.
so, like, there's going to be literally, like, investors are going to look at it and be like, oh, you want me to buy this NFT to get a possible, who knows, airdrop? It makes it much harder to sell, right? But we don't really need to sell them either. It's just if they don't sell, then we give the 50 people the airdrop, and we don't have any investors, right? It's literally just money going into our treasury and just sitting there, and we can use it for investments or whatever, right? Like, we don't need that money because we have revenue to pay people. So I think it's really there's a really solid ideas here. But yeah, like
I got some ideas as far as like tokenomics design and stuff. If I'll really like to be included on those conversations, so I'll just keep an ear out for that.
Yeah, this is like, I'm
I
not
really
a
like
tokenomics
design
investor.
and.
So yeah, we need people to do this.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay, can we move on to the next topic, if there is anything?
Yeah. This has been like 2
11
hours.
or almost 12. 2
No,
hours
we're
now.
all. Yeah, it's mostly me. It's my fault, guys. Yeah, it's all Dunks talks forever, and then I like to repeat everything Dunk says, so it's on me.
Let's just blame me too. All right,
Cool.
so thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything. Except maybe Daraj wants to show us something about the POAMPs. I don't know. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, so the thing is, see, we messed up the timeline of the issuance of POAP, but all of you here, Dunks, can you just at least share the code, what we put, so whenever it's on, they can message the bot and get their POAP. Dunks, you just need to look at the direct message you send to the bot, because I have not sent it. You set it up. That's the thing. Next time onwards, I'll set it up. That's not an issue. Yeah, so everyone will get a POAP. Dunks is gonna tell a code, and then you see under start here, there is a new tab called POAP, and there will be a message by a bot saying you can claim your POAP, and that will be done. And I know, Crypto God, you said the distribution of last POAP is pending, but we've been just trying to make this a automatic process instead of a manual one, because the earlier process was me copying one by one and sending you DMs, which I don't think is a good way to do it. So we set up a bot to do it, and I will give you the I will work with the I'll give you the older POAP as well manually, but now yeah. Okay.
what did you say? England?
Penguin.
Penguin. Okay, Penguin.
I wonder why you use that name.
Okay, I just want to clarify it. Like, there's gonna be a message in that channel tomorrow sometime, and I go there, I click on the
today.
bot, and I put
Yeah.
Penguin.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
okay.
send them a DM. Okay, I'll just write it down there.
No, no, it's
Let me
okay. Okay, I
write
got it. Because I gotta go.
No, DeFi
Oh.
trader, no. No. Don't do it. DeFi trader, don't do it. Guys. Yeah, 1 second.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so I thought I logged this channel. I don't know why it's still. God.
Is this something I should not pay attention to right now?
Yeah. True.
Okay, that explains it to me. I won't mess with it.
There.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like 1:30 in the morning for me. So I'm gonna bounce, guys, and I'm gonna call it. You guys just carry on and do what you gotta do or whatever. But yeah, thanks for everybody listening to me and listen to me. I go on and on and on. And anyhow, thanks again. I'm gonna say goodbye and sign out. See you later, guys.
Okay, bye.
See you, Caesar. Have a good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Bye.
Yo. So Dunks, I tried to close that what do you say? The channel, but I don't know why people can still message on it. Just check the timing when it will post, because it set a what do you say, manual timing. Just check the DM if possible. Yeah, I'll do it. So this time, like, you had to do it, so I mean, yeah, you won't be needing to do it, so I'll handle it completely. Yeah, awesome. Anything else? Yeah, just check the DM of the bot, right, and see what's the time in UTC, because it did some time in UTC, if I'm not wrong. 001. Okay, cool. Let me do it so I can do it next time onwards. Cool. Okay, so can we make this channel only view only to other people, like view only to creators? Yeah, but no one can see it now. Only multi-sig and project managers can see it. View only to people, creators, and everyone who attended the meeting, basically. So everyone, basically. I'll do it. Creators, add it. I'm just not that good with it though, but I just have to check. What's the difference between creator and creator DAO role? Okay. Cool. Yeah, guys. Yeah. So currently now only creators can claim if there is a message. Okay, guys, we are done. Okay, like, we are off the meeting. This is just us chilling. That is us working basically. So, like, if you want to leave, that's fine.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your guys' weeks, guys and girls, and
Yeah.
other. Yeah, I've got it all planned out. I'm gonna shoot it right now, actually, as I get off here. So I got the whole thing, set up to shoot now. What I got to present, and I went and did the research and all that yesterday. Yeah, I'll upload it today, and I'll put it in the group for you guys to see.
Awesome.
All right, talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah,
now?
we can hear you now.
I was trying to speak so many times, like in the past half an hour, and no one could hear me. But anyways, I am creating a job board on Trello for Creator DAO, and there's gonna be a column. It's gonna be like tokenomics. So if anyone has any ideas that pop into their head, or Dunks has a few ideas about the tech side of things, then we can just compile our notes and ideas there.
Cool. Oh, Dunks, this guy stopped replying to me, man. This poor bot. Yeah. No, but I'm doing it in bot command. Yeah, got it. Let's fucking go. Let's do it. I'm just gonna start it right now and make this happen. Yeah. Okay, cool. And like, if you're free, then let's discuss the NFTs. I'd love to help you out with that also, right? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Catch you in some time.
Hey, Dirash.